Hi guys, it's Alana and welcome back to my channel for another video. Now today we're up to something that I know you guys all like, a little bit of jumping, as you can always tell when I've got Jensen with me. But yes, today we will be doing a little bit of grid work, working on setting Jensen up and getting him to listen to me a little bit more. I'm really looking forward to it because you know jumping scares me and I don't really do it that much, but you know it's always entertaining watching a dressage rider attempt to jump, so we're going to try it again today. Let's get cracking. So the first order of business you want to do before doing any sort of work with any horse, jumping, dressage, flat, hacking, you name it, you want to be nice and warmed up. So you want to get all those muscles activated, get them nice and warm, and you can see here I'm just doing a couple canter trot transitions on Jensen before we get started. Now I like to warm Jensen up in canter just because he's a little bit more on high alert than normal horses, and so he gets a bit too tense if I try and warm him up in trot at first. So we warm him up in canter and he's quite happy about it all. He saw me doing some leg yield then, we do that in trot and canter, and that gets him pinging off both legs. Now we did have a cheeky little spook here, and if you can't see, I do have my dog sat in the corner, and Jensen wasn't best appreciative, so taking him back down to walk, and I'm just going to do a small, about 8-meter circle in that corner, just getting him walking past it. And what I want him to do is just pay attention to me, bend round to the inside and listen to my inside leg. Keeping his attention away from the dog, I want him to focus on the work we're doing today. And then the minute he walks past it nicely, it's a straight away pat, good boy. You want to give them that release straight afterwards to know that they've done a good job. And then obviously I'll trot him in a circle in that corner, get him trotting nicely past it. It's business as usual, and then it's big pats once again once he's all happy with it, and then back up into canter, and you can see he's nice and relaxed now. So now I take him into the trot and we're doing some lateral work again, and this is really good to get them moving off each leg, especially moving off your inside leg. You want them bent round, because in show jumping, in dressage, you need to be able to not only use your reins to steer but also your body weight and your legs. This is really important to make sure you do a nice, clean and tidy round or dressage test. Now of course, because I don't quite fancy slipping around the side, especially as I know I'm not the best show jumper in the world and might become unbalanced, I want to check my girth, and now it's time for business. So the first setup we're looking at, we've got the trot poles 3 to 4 feet apart, and then following up with that about 9 feet to the first fence, and then to the second fence about 18 feet. Now I want to make sure that while we're just going through, especially for the first time, we keep those jumps nice and small. We want to check the striding and make sure it's correct. Obviously it depends on different horses, so you might want to adjust those distances according to how your horse goes. And what I find is great about these jumps is because you've got the colours in the middle, you can try and get as straight a line as possible, so it's great for training. The other thing I really like about grid work is that it basically sets your horse on a line and they go nice down it, a bit like free jump where you send them down a line of jumps. The horse can do it of their own accord. So it allows the rider to think more about how they're positioned, what they are doing as the horse goes over the jump. And this was particularly good for me as a dressage rider because I don't do much jumping, so being able to focus on my position like this was great. And as you can see, as I was getting more and more confident with it, we were able to put the jump up a bit more, which Jensen does respect. He does like a bigger jump than a smaller jump, and it does make me feel so good flying over a big jump. Now the next exercise we looked at was a bounce before the next fence, the bounce having about 10 feet between them. Now I kept this small once again just to make sure that the striding was right, and obviously for different horses the striding is going to be different, so do it according to your own horse. Now this was really good as the bounce makes sure that Jensen uses his withers and his shoulders and gets up and over, so this allows the horse to use his entire body to the best of his ability. Now what I will say, what happens here if you look closely is we start off great, and then as we get to the last jump we veer to the right. Now this is because this exercise is once again asking Jensen to shorten, but rather than shorten, he's figuring out that if he drifts, he gives himself more room and he can go faster. Now what I should have known as a dressage rider is that I should have used that right leg to make sure that he stayed in the middle. However, when it comes to jumping, my entire dressage training ability goes out of the window. I don't know if it's like that for anybody else, but I was using my left rein and trying to hold him in the middle using my left rein, and if anything, that made sure that I lost his shoulder. So now I know, we always make mistakes, but now I know for next time that I need to use my leg a lot more, and I need to keep that in the forefront of my mind, even when I'm going, oh, jumping. So then to cool Jensen down, I'm just doing some stretchy trot, and as you can see, he's still a little bit buzzing from the jumping, so we didn't do a very calm stretchy trot, but I wanted to get off his back to make sure that he chilled out because he has been using a lot of muscles today. And then it was a nice stretchy walk, and I let him know that he'd been such a good boy. And then finally, it was the time of day that we all dread after doing a bit of jumping or pole work, time to put everything away. Although I suppose it's better than setting it all out, because counting out those strides is not for me. I do have to say though, I think I've got carrying poles down to an art form. I can carry 3 at once, which I think is actually quite impressive. But I'm determined to do as least amount of trips as physically possible. And I tell you what guys, there is nothing worse than when you are carrying the blocks and you've got them propped up on your hip and they start slipping. You start doing the weird waddle walk trying to get to your destination as fast as you can before you drop them. The good thing about Polyjumps as well is that they can be stored outside and they will be perfectly fine. I've been at places before where they've had wooden jumps and they have deteriorated due to weather, but you don't have to worry about that with the Polyjumps. Look at that, that's a face of exhaustion after all that. Right then guys, so that is all from me today. I super hope you enjoyed watching this video. I know I really love doing it too. As a dressage rider, I find jumping really scary, really daunting, but at the same time, you don't quite get that adrenaline rush after a dressage test that you do after show jumping. So I am absolutely adoring learning more and more with Jensen every single day. And because he knows what he's doing, hopefully, that will be able to translate, so he'll teach me, and then I will be able to teach Star and Dave. I've written Ella off as a lost cause, I'm not going to lie. She rushes fences. She doesn't enjoy it, and to be fair, at 13, she's found her niche in dressage. I don't feel like we need to flog a dead horse there, to be a bit too accurate. But I do think with the boys, with them being young, because Dave's only 4, Star's 6, it'll be really good to be able to do a variety of things with them. And who knows, I could end up eventing if I keep travelling down this vein. But yeah, really enjoyed today. I'm going to carry on working on getting Jensen to sit up, sit back, and listen to me a bit more, because he does love to absolutely bomb at a fence, which is great until it goes wrong, especially as I'm enjoying jumping a little bit bigger as well, because I do feel like he makes a nicer jump over something bigger than something small. But at the same time, we need to keep it small enough that I don't actively start crying. So yeah, no, really enjoyed today. Mum did get a little bit trigger happy with those poles, because at one point she put the jump up to 1.10 m and I was like, got me put it down. We still jumped 95 though, so buzzing about that, absolutely buzzing. But yeah, so I've had an absolutely excellent time. Hope you guys have been able to get something from the video today. So I hope this has been super educational for you guys. I know it was super educational for me because I researched what grid weights we could do beforehand, and now I've got something to work on and build on from that, especially using my leg more than my left rein, because as a dressage rider, I should have known to do that. So if you haven't already, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that notification bell so you know when the next video is going to be uploaded. Currently I'm trying to do them every Wednesday, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled every Wednesday. I don't even know what I'm doing next week, but hope it's going to be a good one. I'll be linking my social medias below, so it's Alana Clark Equestrian on Instagram, Facebook and TikTok. And until next time guys, from me and all the horses, it is goodbye.